Middleman Government Contracting. So I'm here today to talk in depth about it. There's over $800 billion in this space. So we are going to look at an example of a middleman. I'm going to walk you through it. And this is actually something that I'm bidding on. So I'm not just giving you some pie in the sky example. So let's take a look at this one, right? This is Unison Marketplace. Unison is, they of themselves are a government contract. So never forget that. And they also have opportunities that we can bid on. I ran across somebody recently, it might've been online, it might have even been like a government employee, and this is not a slight against a government employee. I honestly don't remember exactly their background, but they wrote something to the extent of like, oh, all the opportunities on SAM or on Unison, and go to SAM. Enough is enough. Let me clarify. Unison is a government contractor. Unison gets a cut of wins. So where does Unison want you to go? Unison? Have you ever used like an Uber Black, and then the next thing you know, they're like, hey, here's my business card in case you want to ride, because they want to cut out the middleman. How many of you have ever used Airbnb and maybe they're like, hey, you can save money if you book through my website or if you book privately through me? Or even Upwork. There's so many places where people are like, oh, I want to save money. And even in government contracting, you have to be careful. That's why this is about middleman government contracting. Enough is enough. Because if you use the same middleman over and over and over again, the government's going to say, why are we going to you? Why don't we just go to them? So you have to constantly show value. Unison Marketplace. First, it's not illegal to do middleman. And to the point about, well, there's not that many, because of the time of the year. We're still in the second quarter. So it would be as if you wanted to buy a Christmas tree. You probably wouldn't buy a Christmas tree right now. You're gonna wait until November, December. So for the federal government, they're gonna wait until maybe May, June, July, August, because the end of September is the end of the fiscal year. So don't get discouraged, and all it takes is one win. So you see here, this is for furniture. Through the 29th, they list all of the things here. What I like to look for is, did they list their evaluation criteria, basis of award? Are these reasonable things I can get? And thankfully, and this is an important takeaway, you want to lean into the space that you know, or where you have a relationship. I have a relationship with somebody who owns a very popular office furniture company. He even has a YouTube channel, poppin' YouTube channel. Gets over 1 million views a month on office chairs, y'all. I mean, I'm an office chair person. This is a steel case. Love my steel. I have two of them. I have another steel case chair to my left. So all I saw this and I was like, Greg, can you give me a price quote? And he was like, of course, let me have my team give you a price quote. So I WhatsApped him. His team has already sent me the price quote, and I still have a ton of time. So think about how long that took. Boop, 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 WhatsApp, check my email, got a price quote. Oh, there's one more step. I emailed him the attachments because they're very short, and I'll open them in a moment. So when I went on here, I took a look to see, do they outline how they're going to award this? They did note that it's an unfunded requirement, which means it's just not in their budget, but there's a high expectation that the funds will be available. So the thing about this opportunity is, even if you win, there may be a delay, which actually works in your favor because you have to fund this. This is why it says middleman government contracting, enough is enough. Too many people mislead you. Oh, you don't need any money. Everybody will give you 90 days or 30 days to pay them. Not everybody does that. I know this supplier, so more than likely he'll be very flexible with the payment terms. But imagine if I didn't know Greg and I just found an office company online. This is a lot of chairs. I mean, they want 55 mesh chairs. How many of you would give a complete stranger just 55 chairs without any money? You have to be aware that often in the middleman, especially around these types of products, you're going to need cash. You definitely will need it. And the beautiful thing is, as I said, I sent a WhatsApp, I sent an email. And you may say, well, yeah, Kizzy, but you know him. Yeah, but I don't know him under the context of this. We know each other because we have the same YouTube coach. Because it's important that your coach has a coach. I have all kinds of coaches and mentors. So let's take a look. So they've already said they don't have the money, however, we anticipate we will, the buyer is requiring that any rebid must be lower than the current bid price. That means if you're going to redo your bid, you can't do it for higher. Like they're like, listen, we're looking for a deal here. And that's something to keep in mind with Unison. They are looking for a deal. It does not mean you can't make money. I'm about to interview Nakia. She won an opportunity on here. Wait till you hear. She made at least 50%. So don't think, oh, I can't make any money on Unison. You can make a ton of money. It's just that you have to really take advantage of what's here. So let's keep going through this. They're also letting you know that the bid must be good for 30 days. Which is important because sometimes prices change. So you have to be aware of that. Even if the price quote for the furniture changes, I already told the government I'm gonna hold this for 30 days. And remember, it said it's not funded. So now what you can do is, let's say 35 days go by, you could say to the government, hey, you said for 30 days, 5 additional days have gone by, we need to re-examine our price. They would probably allow that. And also for those of you who are just joining or watching the restream, this is an example of middleman, where I found this opportunity on Unison. I found a firm who can provide the chairs. I'm gonna add a markup and I'm gonna submit the bid. And then I'm gonna alter it, because on Unison, this is a reverse auction site. They're all about low, low, low. Does not mean you can't make a profit. Think of the dollar store, Dollar General, Family Dollar. They're all very profitable companies. Doesn't mean that they don't make a profit just because they offer a discount. And you can see it's going to go to North Carolina. I'm going to share the attachment with you all in a second. The information that they share is very simple. That's it. They also share this form right here, sometimes causes some confusion, and I'm going to share it with you all here in one moment. This is the mandatory, all in caps. Anytime you come across any kind of government, anything, document, RFP, anything, and you see caps, yellow, italicized, bold, underline, that means like warning, warning, danger, this is important, please pay attention. Okay, so often I've run across different people who see this form and they kind of freak out. They're not saying that it has to be made in America. Pretty much the main product that has a very strict made in America requirement are usually military uniforms. They're just asking that you identify the information. They already know. I mean, how many chairs are made in America, office chairs? Oops, you can't see that. Let me show you guys just one second. I'm assuming, maybe there's a company or two out there who do that. I honestly, I can't think of anyone. I get all my chairs basically from Steelcase because that's who I just personally like using. So in here, you just need to put the line item and then the country of origin. That's it. Even if it's China, it's okay. You just complete the information. That's all. That's all that they're looking for. That's it. Then I'll show you the other attachment. So to reverse engineer this, they're simply looking for, you give a price, which is you adding a percentage to the price that a vendor gives you for the chairs. If you're concerned that the vendor may also be a government contractor, you can look them up on Sam.gov. You add a percentage to the chair. So let's say for the shelves, I'm just throwing out a number. Let's say it's 200 each and unit price. Let me do this correctly here. Oh, I thought they had some formulas in here. It doesn't look like they added any formulas. That's okay. You can add the formulas, but this price right here, you would add, it would be the price that you were quoted for the product and your profit. I'm often asked, where do I put the profit? How does that work? You put it right in here. So let's say they quoted you 200 each and you're like, oh, I'm gonna make it, $275. So then that's the total price. And then they also asked about all of these. And this is important. You wanna make sure that the vendor is able to do all of this. Because some may say we can only ship, we can't install, we can't maintain. So you want to make sure you have all of this. And for the vendor, I mean, it's okay to just you can put your name / Steelcase. I'm just giving an example. Then what's really simple is how you upload this. So you'll see here in a second, inside of Unison is where you add the pricing. You go to Start Bid. You can put the bid description. I just cut and paste it usually from here. Office furniture, Liberty. Sometimes for the seller reference number, I'll put the date. You can see here if you want more information. Well, normally you can, but can't. Oh, here we go. There we go. You know, you may have your own accounts payable number. We like to use dates. It doesn't really matter. Delivery days. This says 30 days. 30 sounds good. If you have any questions, you can submit questions right here. You can look at the Q&A and you can see so far there aren't any questions, but you're more than welcome to ask questions. Then here, I think there's a button here, accept all terms. And on one of the pages, they typically will ask you to add the attachments. So as I said, anytime you see yellow, bold, underline, that's super important. So you're going to need to upload, remember, you're going to need to upload the Buy American Act, and then you upload your pricing, plus you're going to type it in here. And you can have it automatically stop. So let's say we're like, okay, the unit price is $275. Maybe you've decided, well, I'm willing to go all the way down to $240 each. So it'll automatically stop. And then you click continue. And I believe there's maybe one more button. Unison automatically adds their cut because Unison in and of themselves, they are a government contractor and they're going to get their money. They are going to get their money. So let's fast forward and say you won, because this is all about Middleman Government Contracting. Enough is enough. There are individuals who have won on Unison and they weren't the lowest. They weren't in the lead. So don't get discouraged if you're lagging, because sometimes they may make an award and someone's like, oh, I won. I don't have the money to get this furniture. You know, or maybe they win and they don't want to wait until the agency has their funding. So let's say you have the money, you're ready to go. Then you're going to sign any documents they give to you, and you are going to immediately talk to the point of contact, because you need to have the furniture delivered, you need to handle setup, and you need to handle maintenance. So you want to organize all of that, especially in case there's holidays or time off, or if this particular location they're having any exercises or family days. You want to make sure that you plan accordingly. Don't just assume, oh, well, we can deliver the furniture at 8 p.m. There's certain things you're going to have to do. Is it a good idea to bid on 10 or more contracts per month? Of course it's a good idea. Just don't get burnt out. And you're going to have to teach somebody else how to do it, or you're going to get really burnt out. Middleman Government Contracting, enough is enough. Request a debrief. If you don't win, send an email. I'm just following up regarding solicitation. I would like to request a debrief to learn more about why my submission was not selected. They may say the price was too high. Maybe you were technically unacceptable. Maybe they couldn't get in touch with your references. But you got to have feedback, because if not, then you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. You may not win, and you're not going to know why you're not winning. I'm also at start bidding. I don't know how to start bidding. Well, Eric, do exactly what I'm talking about right here. You find an opportunity, you find a vendor who can supply it, and you bid. I'm walking you through it right now. Middleman Government Contracting, enough is enough. Now is the time to act. Now is the time to learn, apply, adjust. That's what this is all about. And don't worry, don't be scared, don't be concerned. I mean, it's office furniture. There's 124. Is 124 a lot or not a lot? What do you all think? I don't know, you tell me. Is 124 a good number or not a good number? 124. All you gotta do is win one. Halal menu for the prisons. Prisons need some spices, floor coating, paper, 6 handicap accessible blind. Well, I thought it said 6. Looks like 2. If you have the cash, find who offers these blinds and get them and flip them. If you're like, well, Kizzy, I don't think I have that kind of cash. Don't worry. There's some services nestled in these. Remove, confirm asbestos. So I interviewed Bo to Pro on my channel. He ended up winning an opportunity like this. So if Bo to Pro or you're the Bo to Pro type, find a company to remove this asbestos. I believe, is it in Massachusetts? Is that where this is? They have different questions that they have for you. Okay, it says see statement of work for the location. So with something like this, you may be able to pay the vendor 30 days from when they actually remove the asbestos. So you can see East Hampton, in East Hampton, New York. They give you all the information, contact information. So if you have questions, I mean, this is a perfect one. This is a perfect middleman right here. Wow, that looks creepy. Or is it just me? It looks creepy to me. But if this is your thing or you want it to be your thing, why not? Why not? Go back up. That's all. I mean, there's several attachments, but I just want everyone to see Middleman Government Contracting, enough is enough, is more than just product, is more than gravel, it's more than lawn service, it's more than roofing. You have removal of asbestos. You have all different types of services that are on here. And while it may seem like there aren't a lot of opportunities on on Unison, there actually are. There's a lot of opportunities. There's over 100. All you have to do is bid on one. Most people aren't going to bid on anything. It's like a gym membership. Most people don't go to the gym. They just pay every month. Maybe they hop in there on pizza day. I don't know. Predominantly live in Tulum, Mexico, so I have no idea. I go to a private facility to work out with Brittany. So again, you can see all of these opportunities. You're also welcome. You can filter them and look under the categories. I like to look under all of the opportunities here. It's just the way I like to look at things. Again, it's learn, apply, adjust. You may say, oh, this is too much. You may want to look by category. Maybe you want to look at things that are due in the next 24 hours. That's your approach. That's why we learn, apply, and adjust. Pillows, sheets, and pillowcases. I think David from War Dogs, I think he started out selling sheets or something. So there are all these amazing opportunities that you can easily middleman. Just keep in mind, they're looking for a low price. Does not mean you're not going to make a profit. Just means you need to be aware of the market. So I'm going to take a look at these questions here, and I'm going to show you more, because a lot of especially the newer people in middleman or in government contracting, they only know one approach, and there's way more approaches in middleman and going on Unison and going on SAM. So this is all about middleman government contracting. Enough is enough. And especially some of the newer people, they're really laser focused on middleman, which is amazing. At the same time, there's other approaches. So what I want to share with everyone here is what's called a GSA schedule. So we have two. Each of these contract award numbers represents a schedule. That star is 3. This is MAS. So we're going to go into the MAS schedule. So let's take a look. Okay, great. So the thing about the GSA schedule, you have to apply for it. I've heard of some programs. I know one of my former coaching students. So for this, you have to apply. I know one of my students is part of some special group where they're helping people get on the GSA schedule who may not have certain sales. So the way GSA works is you have to apply, you provide your past performance, you show invoices, you offer discounted pricing. They vet you, they go over your references, and you bid on a certain NAICS code on the MAS schedule. So you notice on the far left, 611430, 61143 on the far left. So that is the NAICS that we apply for, because a lot of our past performance is in the training realm. I started out largely doing a lot of the training. So what typically will happen is you will have companies. And usually it's not GSA. You have companies. So you'll typically have companies like for-profit, nonprofit companies who will reach out. Hey, you want a no bid contract? You want that GSA schedule? So they are not the GSA.gov. They are not affiliated with the government. They are a paid service. So it's like back in the day when people thought, oh, if I wear Air Jordans, I'm gonna be able to jump high, or like the pump up Reeboks, I'll be able to jump high. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe you can, who knows? But it's just a service to help you to get on the GSA schedule. But here's the secret, y'all. I'm gonna lean in. You still have to bid. They don't just say like, Kizzy, you're on the schedule. Here, take all of our money. What else you need? What do you need, Kizzy? Just take it all. Take it all. It's not how it works, okay? No, you are the best in the world. Every single one of you are the best in the world for being here and dedicating to yourselves, giving to yourself. You know, I was listening to the Hood Healer today, who I adore. Imani Cohen's her name. And she said, like, basically when you're giving to yourself, for those of you who are parents, you are in essence leveling up your kid when you pour into yourself. And so you're pouring into yourself. You want to do better for your family? Pour into yourself. Yes, I've heard about their startup program. That's the program that my former student is a part of. I would definitely look into that for those of you who are out there. I don't necessarily have a contact. This is where you definitely want to go through the GSA or your local SBA. The one thing that the SBA, your local SBA, is really good about is any kind of programs like this. They're the plug. They're great for startup programs, 7J stuff, or like a lot of that. As far as helping you with pricing and with some of the nooks and crannies of being an entrepreneur, but this is where they're great. So I'm gonna walk you through this because a lot of people are like, Kizzy, I gotta get on that GSA schedule. I'm like, whoa, like, come on, y'all. Enough is enough. This is a slow down. I know you want to get on the GSA schedule, but let's take a look. What do you mean sheep shearing not available, Nate? They already award it? They awarded it, I'm assuming. And I haven't seen you in a while, Nate Dog. Okay, so let's take a look. So we are on the schedule. That's our contract number. This is the Nate. So under this schedule, we only see opportunities under this NAICS. That's it. So they drop the opportunities into this portal. So I logged in. It's a 2-factor login. You see, hello, Kizzy, welcome. This is it. So you can see Department of Energy training, DHS training, facilitation, OSD, IT training, appropriations law training. You see it? It's all training. Innovation services for the Navy. So these are it. So only people who are on this contract vehicle with that NAICS code can see these. This is it. That's it. There's nothing more. So let's take a look at what they want. We won a contract from the Department of Energy with a ceiling of $1 million through this. So they want instructor-led facilitation and training for innovation services. So for those of you who are like, hey, I'm a trainer, I do curriculum development, I want to do this, I want to do that. One of the fastest ways for you to do this is to identify prime contractors who have a GSA schedule. Because I'm not doing this work. My team isn't necessarily doing this work. We're subbing it out. We are middlemaning it out. But the thing is, people who just middleman, they don't have access to this unless they're on the GSA schedule. So to Nate Dogg's question, or his point, yes, you have to be on SAM. You have to have a cage code. You have to apply for this. I hired a company, and let me tell y'all, it took us 3, not 1, not 2, 3 times to get on the GSA schedule. It was a whole thing. 3 times to get on this one. Took forever. So I'll share the PDF. It's always helpful if you have Adobe or something where you can see the PDF. If you're watching the restream, just zoom in if you can't see it, or zoom out if it's too big. NAFAC. One of my former mentees I just interviewed, I believe his first contract was with NAFAC. So they're telling you this is what they want. And here's what's beautiful. Google problem sourcing workshop. Maybe some companies come up. They're telling you exactly what they want. Not to exceed 15. I think it's at their location. No, it's at theirs. It's National Capital Region at vendors' facilities. Okay. Maybe there's already a vendor in the National Capital Region who provides this. By Googling, you'll find out. And perhaps that company already exists. And then this would be what oops, y'all can't see it. Sorry about that. Let me show you. Just 1 second. Appreciate your patience. So they're sharing what they need, right? And it could be that this is rigged, meaning they already know that a company provides this and they're putting it on the GSA schedule because then it's easy. Now they don't have to worry about, oh, we're going to look at all these proposals on Sam.gov. No, in order to get on this contract vehicle, I was vetted. My company was vetted, right? When somebody's vetted, you're like, oh, shoot, oh, snap, I can do work with them. And so they'll often put opportunities on here for a particular company. It does not mean all of these are rigged. It just means you need to do research. That's why Middleman Government Contracting, enough is enough. You gotta also understand some of these things are not meant for you to bid on. Just like when you're dating. If someone's like, oh, I'm separated. Oh, okay, well, do you live with your ex? Well, see, for the kids, you know, we both still live there. Oh, okay, moving on. No. So I'm gonna go to another one, since this one seems like it's probably rigged. And it's okay if it's rigged. You'll have there'll be a chance in your professional experience where things will be rigged for you. So don't get upset, don't get mad. It's just like dating. There's a person for all of us. So there's e-learning, and you can see this as a seeking sources. In other words, a source is sought. They're looking like, oh, anybody, can you do this? So what they do is they give you a link, and I'll show you the link here in a second. And then they want you to answer the questions. But in order to even get to any of this, you must be on the GSA schedule. So think about it. You have Sam.Gov, small business, you have all the set-asides. Then you have this little pond of a GSA schedule, this little bitty pond. Because a lot of people, they're not going to apply for this. Or they apply for the GSA schedule not knowing what they're doing, and then they get frustrated because they think there's going to be thousands of bids and there aren't, and they don't really understand the value of it. Fallacy. What you believe happened. If you believe that it's unrealistic, you will not be successful. So hell yeah, it's realistic to be successful. I just interviewed Chad with an S. He won a bid within 30 days. He goes to college. He won a bid for a freaking bed and made what? $20,000 off of it. Watch the video, you'll see. This is not some like, Kizzy's making up stuff, Kizzy cap and you know, whatever. This is not that. It's like, I got proof. This is more than possible. We are getting contracts. I just showed y'all one I'm bidding on for office furniture. You'll get more than your toenail in there, JC. You'll get more than that. So I'll be on a little longer, y'all. It's been an interesting day. And I need water. And I'm not to the point yet where I have an assistant here, but I definitely need some water. Okay, let me change the screen sharing. And for those of you just joining, I'm showing you is the GSA schedule, because a lot of people in this middleman space, it's great. They're middlemaning, however, thank you, Sonia. He made $20,000 off of a hospital bed in less than 30 days. So I want to show you what does a GSA schedule look like, because we're on 2, and we just bid on Oasis Plus. We're in the middle of working on PAX 3. We're about to bid on Seaport Next Gen. I'm not here to play games. So for this one, for the Department of, well, that's a lot of mods. Let's ignore that one. Okay, these are my favorites. Department of Ag. They want federal accounting and budgeting principles training. Okay, so, oh, look at this. It's in 4 days, a WOSB set aside. Cover letter, PWS, solicitation questions, RFQ, request for quote. Okay, so I'm gonna share the Excel sheet with all of you. And you're gonna notice that the GSA schedule, the requirements are a little different because you've been vetted to be on the schedule. So the level of rigor often is not as high because you already went through the process to just get on the schedule. So this is actually the form you would use if you have questions for them. They wanted a more formalized experience. Okay, that's cool. Let me see. I'm going to show you guys the PWS, performance work statement. So let's say we were bidding on this at my flagship company, KPC. What we would do is take a look at this and see who could we subcontract this to, who could we middleman this to. Federal County Budget Principles Training to FNCS. That's the Food, Nutrition, Consumer Services. And then they're telling you that. So what we would do is we would Google the type of training that they want, and we would look at LinkedIn. This is why I recommend everybody here follow Shanae Moret. She has about 1 million followers on LinkedIn, and she has a channel, She has a channel on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is more than, hey, I need a job, let me go on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of the #1 sources to find not only government employees, but to find different company and people to middleman, to subcontract, to outsource, right? So we would just need to look these key terms up, go on Google, make sure they have 3 years experience with financial. As a company, we probably could swing that. We have more than 3 years experience doing all of these things. The finance, I'd have to ask my team. I'm not really sure the exact number of financial related courses that we've done, but this is very nothing new to us. So that's what's so awesome about a GSA schedule is the NAICS that you select, it's your NAICS, right? So this is our wheelhouse. This is one of our wheelhouses. So it's not like, oh man, we're on a GSA schedule for gravel and we've never really done gravel. And look at this, it's virtual. It's all webinar, beautiful. Sometimes they'll list the evaluation criteria. There are more documents to go through. Sometimes they don't. Right now, I'm opening the RFQ document, which is only 4 pages. I mean, based on what you've seen so far, oh, you have it right there. Does this look hard? Does this look wild? Does this look stressful? I mean, I would say no. I might be wrong. There we go. This is an SF 1449. So on these, you would complete 17 alpha, put in your cage code, your phone number. It looks like this is for about a year. You would also fill out 30 Alpha Bravo Charlie. They reiterate, and hopefully this matches. So you want to make sure this matches the statement of work. That's it. I mean, there's a few more attachments, but let me see what you guys wrote. There's nothing here that's crazy, right? Am I the only one who thinks this is pretty easy breezy? Okay, are products better than services? It's up to you. If you have money, cash, or access to cash, I would do products. So this site is mainly for products, is that right? It's a mixture. It's predominantly products, but there's also services. They like to put weird stuff on there. Albert, how do you go about requesting a debrief? Via email. Hi, I'm writing to request a debrief for solicitation, so I may learn why our bid wasn't chosen. And then they'll let you know, because sometimes the opportunities may not include having a debrief as an option. Don't get discouraged if you're like, oh, I didn't get a debrief. I mean, that happens. Like, think about when you're dating. Does everybody say, well, this is why I'm not going to date you? No. This is why the situationship is not going to go anywhere. You know, sometimes you just have to take, hey, I'm not going to know, but I'm not going to give up. That's the difference. Sometimes we don't get answers in this world, in our lifetime. You have to be okay that you're not always going to get an answer. And don't just assume, oh, it's because, please don't do that. Just keep going. Keep going. And I'm glad, JB Collection, that you found your channel. I've been wondering a lot, like, what am I supposed to do to start everything to be a contractor? Do I need to have my own business? Yes, you need your own business, and you need to get a cage code on Sam.Gov. Sam.Gov. 3 questions for contracting officer. Is it a new opportunity? If not, who's the incumbent and what is the current value? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Definitely. Unless you are the incumbent or you have inside information. If you already know the answers, I wouldn't ask, because typically they don't always do this. What do you want to share with me? Mr. F. Grant, what is it? Is it money? What are you sharing? You buy me a car? So, because when you ask a question, they're supposed to let everybody know. I'll tell you, I've been doing this since 2007. They don't always let everybody know. But so if you don't want to tip your hand, then don't ask. So there's sometimes where I don't ask questions because I don't want to give up. I'm 28 for life. Of course not, it doesn't matter. I don't want to give up my advantage. I have the full version of Adobe Acrobat AI tool. Oh, that's cool. Hello from Seattle. Tion, that's so cool. I was just hanging out with my friend Sierra. She's from, you're Seattle, Washington, but she's from Oregon. And then if you haven't joined my Facebook group, I'll have to make sure the link is shared. The Facebook group is fire. Here, I'm gonna share that here in 1 second. It's a free group. Ask questions. It's an amazing place to go, to be. I encourage you to go there, and especially go there because really soon I'm gonna have a couple of paid groups, so it'll be even better, because I know sometimes there are those of you who are just starting out and you just, you need your encouragement, and I'm all about community, because here, I'll read to you verbatim. I have a whole list here of the things that I manifest and all of that, and I like what I wrote, so that's why I like to read it to you verbatim. I help people manifest and actualize their personal, family, and financial goals. I bring love, light, financial abundance, and motivation via my content, products, and services to 1 billion people. These are my goals. And so the community is really important with the love and the light and helping you. So, I'd love this, Alex, that you're from Michigan. What's up? I'll be in Michigan later in the year. I have a place out there. I'm here in Miami for just a quick second, and then I go, I have some training in the States, and then I go right back to Mexico. So that's why I'm here. So my point is, take advantage of the Facebook group and get ready for these new offerings. And I appreciate you all asking me about it. Okay, can you please look at IT items? I get overwhelmed with what I should bid on. Okay, Jessica, send some examples of what you're referring to. Okay, wow, I caught it. Markia, I'm glad that you're here. I adore you, and I really appreciate it. So I'm glad that I caught you. Excuse me for a second, y'all. Just a change in everything. Trying to mess with my allergies, but guess what? I'm always well. Okay. Yanni, what IRS documents forms do we use for subcontractors? I'm going to answer that here in 1 second. I just got logged out of something I wanted to share with you all. You are going to have a subcontractor fill out a W-9 unless they are a corporation, an independent contractor service agreement, and any type of other onboarding documents. Right, just start. It's straight to the point. We won Department of Interior on the GSA schedule, $1 million ceiling. I mean, come on. It's worth every penny we put in. Took us 3 times to get on the GSA schedule. 3 times. First time, they were updating the system, lost all of our paperwork. So the woman who helped me, she got sick and ghosted me. So then I hired another firm. We submitted it again. They came back, the contracting officer came back with all these questions, like almost 4 pages of questions. And I got discouraged. I almost gave up. And I was going through personal stuff, y'all. I was like in a crazy marriage, and I was super fat. I mean, I'm working on my fitness right now. I still got ways to go, y'all, ways to go. But I mean, I was a mess. I was a mess. So then I was like, okay, Kizzy, you got to get it together. You weren't made for mediocrity. So I hired another company. And I remember Tracy said to me, Kizzy, we just got to make it stick like peanut butter. And it gave me so much peace of mind, because I was so frustrated, and I was just like, I'm never going to get this damn schedule. I'm like, I'm never going to get this thing. And she just was like, man, we got it like that. And we've won 2 things on it, and we don't even bid that much. That's why when people are like, Kizzy, isn't this just a numbers game? Isn't it a numbers game? It depends on the approach you take. It depends on your business model. For us, that's not what we do. We're not like bidding on 100 things a month. We bid on the things that we know we have a high likelihood of winning. You have to do what works for you. That's why you learn, apply, adjust. Learn, apply, adjust. Learn, apply, adjust. I'm bringing people on to do a lot more bidding for us and people. I want to help you manifest and actualize your personal, family, and financial goals. These are my whys. So, okay, cool. Let's take a look at this. This is Nate Dogg. I saw a bid, last incumbent 15 for the course of 5 years for 1 day a week. What do you mean it's too low? Why can't you compete with that, Nate? It's 1 day a week. Run the math on it. Somebody, you can do it. You can bid more, but think about it. Think about it. You're that agency. I give you a proposal for $30,000. What are you going to say? $30,000? What did we pay before? 15? Oh, hell no. We ain't doing that. That's exactly what you're going to say. Okay. So, Janja, I just got beat by 500. That's okay. 500 is better than 1,000. And now you know what it takes. Nothing wrong with that. Love the power you got. Send out. Thank you, Jonathan. winnerswaybook.com if you don't have it already. winnerswaybook.com. This right here, y'all, is this was the first print of the book that I keep only here in Miami. And this is how you can tell. The version I have in Mexico, the corner is creased. This is the very first print. Very first, because there's some errors in here. So, winnerswaybook.com. Check it out. I used Apex as a free service. Unison is a government platform. We have employees and contractors who provide the services. And Lori oversees them. We addressed that already. Very realistic. We got Nate Dogg. Paperwork is easy. You just got to keep going. This is all business. That's all it is. It's not anything to get mad about or start to look for. It's because I'm black. It's because I'm white. It's because I'm Hispanic. It's because of my name. It's because I'm in Texas. Listen. I firmly believe God is with us all. God is inside of us all. This is what I believe. If you're not down for that, that's cool. You can click off my channel. There's no reason each and every one of us can't succeed. I don't ever remember hearing something where it's like, nah, only 300 people can succeed. That's it. In my opinion, if you believe it, you manifest it, you conjure it, you speak it, you pray for it, you ask for it, it will happen. I'm going to win a contract. I will get a contract. I will make this work. Watch the video with Ashley. Her story is like the government contracting version of who in the TF did I marry. She didn't give up. Her story wasn't, I knew I was going to lose. I'm a loser. Like, if you think those things, then you're going to lose. Life is so hard. Life is horrible. I'm not saying you haven't had a hard life. I'm not saying you haven't gone through some stuff. I'm sure every single one of us, I'm sure every person on this planet has a story of some type of trial and tribulation. But guess what? It's a set up. I love that. Joel Osteen always talks about that. It's a set up. It's not a setback. It sets you up. Think about what you've overcome. So what? You can't win a government contract? Please. Yes, you can. Why can't you? Why? How much do you think on average you can make doing middleman? Steve. As much as you want. If you want to win 1,000, you win 1,000. You want 10 million, you can win 10 million. David, who I've interviewed twice on my channel, he did over 20 million last year. I suspect he's going to do between 30 and 50 million this year. He didn't start out doing that. It took several years. All he does is middleman because they don't know what they're talking about. That's why I said middleman government contracting, enough is enough, because people don't know what they're talking about. Yes, there may be regulations that you can't, every now and again, an opportunity may say you cannot subcontract. Is that the same thing as it's illegal? Oh my God, the speed limit's 65, I'm going 75. Is that illegal? Am I going to get a felony? I mean, come on. It's like, yes, there may be rules around some of the subcontracting. It's not. I hope y'all laugh. I mean, I think it's funny. If not, you can tell me. You can be like, Kizzy, that's corny. That's all right. Ain't the first time anybody called me corny. So it's not illegal. And I think they say it because they don't know what they're talking about, or maybe they made a contracting officer upset and they lost the contract. I don't know. What did Cat Williams say? Liars lie because they lie. I ain't calling these people liars. I'm just saying, look at the Cat Williams logic. Sometimes people just say stuff. It don't matter why they said it. They just said what they said. God bless them, you know? What's amazing is there's over $800 billion. There's enough work for all of us and more.